Big Story Breakdown. We are continuing to look at data centers tonight in the Big Story Breakdown. Edmond City Council voted unanimously to approve a moratorium on allowing applications for land or building permits for data centers, but it has an expiration date.
That moratorium is in place through the last day of December. Fox 25's Rob Hagan has been following the data center discussion. He is live tonight in Edmond with the reaction. Rob?
That's right, Wendy, Adam, it was hot today, but not near as hot as the data center discussion taking place across all of Oklahoma. Now, this moratorium also comes with a condition on researching data centers because Edmond city leaders say they don't want to shut the door permanently to future business opportunities. The data center discussion is back at Edmond City Hall since the last meeting at the end of May.
I've seen what it's done to communities. It's torn them apart. It's divided them. Anger. And I don't want that happening in Edmond.
Edmond City Council voted unanimously to approve the moratorium on data centers until December 31st, 2026. They also approved an emergency clause so they can immediately put the ordinance in effect. Research will be conducted over the next 2 months on the impacts of data centers and the different types. In 3 months, a draft will be presented to council. Someone even stepped up to the plate and offered to conduct research over 117 questions on the water and energy usage of data centers.
It will be titled Considerations for Communities Evaluating Data Centers.
Not everyone in the meeting was opposed to data centers in the name of business.
We're running into budget problems. This is a way for us to have some type of tax revenue.
One council member says Edmond is not in a position to house a hyperscale data center, but he does not want to close the door on smaller ones because he says businesses with up to 500 employees will all want one within 5 years.
This is what we're about. Let's make policy out of information and knowledge, not out of fear.
But near the end of the public discussion, fears of water consumption, privacy concerns, eminent domain, and pollution popped up.
Forever chemicals, once they get into your water supply, you cannot get them out.
Now, Mayor Mark Nash says he's had meetings the last 6 months with mayors across the country discussing the challenges and the impacts of data centers. He says citizens still have an opportunity to share their concerns at the future Edmond Matters meetings. Live in Edmond City Hall, Rob Hagan, Fox 25 News.
Thank you, Rob. Norman City Council considering establishing a moratorium on the construction of data centers in their area. Under that proposal, it would allow city staff to look into the impacts and city procedures surrounding these projects in their community. Officials say they don't have the infrastructure support to build any data centers, as it requires a large amount of water, electricity, and technology services, and they do not meet those needs. If a company wants to build one, it would require approval by the council. They plan to consider the moratorium at their meeting tomorrow at 6:30. Meanwhile, plans are moving forward for a data center in Luther, but there is an effort to pause it. The proposed center by Beltline Energy would cover about 400 acres. It's located near an OG&E power generating facility. Folks in that area say they're worried the project will use large amounts of water and the chemicals from the project could pollute water sources in town. Advocates in the area are encouraging people to voice their concerns at a council meeting tomorrow at 7 and ask the Board of Trustees to support a moratorium in their city limits.
Moratorium currently in effect here in the metro. Back in April, the city council unanimously approved the proposal on new data centers through the end of the year.
Fox 25's Emma McAndrews breaks down who has to follow the rules and who doesn't, and what this means for projects moving forward.
We're not killing data centers. We're being a worthy investigative body on how they will affect our city.
That was Councilman Hinkle at today's Oklahoma City City Council meeting as the council weighed options to amend the temporary moratorium in place for data centers.
If they don't build it here, they're going to build it in Piedmont or Hydro or. And so I'm not against data centers, but I'm not for data centers. I'm for good governments in Oklahoma City.
Councilman James Cooper expressed concern for the passing of these exemptions, pointing to what he's heard in his classrooms, specifically pointing out AI.
I hear regularly from my students existential concerns about their water supply, their electric supply, but almost above and beyond that, artificial intelligence, AI. They're concerned about when they graduate right now. Will their jobs be there?
Some like Hinkle were in favor of option 2, addressing concerns of water usage from these data centers.
There's not a single bit of water that comes out of Oklahoma City's water supply that's going to be spent cooling any of those systems, which is responsible operations as far as I'm concerned.
Councilmember Kamal Pennington agreed with Hinkle, saying these data centers will still have to go through a process.
I'm comforted by the fact that it doesn't exempt these data centers from having to come back before us for review, for zoning, or for permitting. So the fact that we're just saying you're just going to have to go through the regular process, which allows the public to be heard, is a comfort to me in this.
Council members voted 7-2 for option 2, which means a temporary moratorium stays in place, but will only apply to large-scale data centers and other projects and sites where exempted. This will also impact smaller data centers that use less data, as a moratorium will only now impact data centers using more than 75 megawatts of net electrical load. Reporting in Oklahoma City, Emma McAndrews, Fox 25 News.
The moratorium pauses rezoning requests, permit processing, and approvals for new data center developments. City officials say the purpose of the moratorium was to study energy demand, land use impacts, and long-term community effects. Now, there was an effort this legislative session to create a statewide moratorium. Senator Kendra Sakari introduced the Senate Bill 1488, which would have established a moratorium on the construction of new data centers until 2029. The measure would have also directed the Oklahoma Corporation Commission to study the long-term effects these large facilities have on state infrastructure and resources and pause new projects while the OCC conducts their review on key concerns. And the bill would have also required the commission to submit its findings and recommendations to lawmakers to help make better policy decisions in the future. While this bill did stall in committee, it did spark statewide conversations about the use of energy and water demands that these projects all require.
Now, water usage is usually one of the biggest concerns when considering these projects. Last fall, State Rep Amanda Clinton conducted an interim study to look at the impacts these centers have on our water resources. She says the mission behind the study was to start a real conversation about how officials can accommodate this growing industry without compromising water quality and quantity in our state.
As demand for these conveniences increases, so does the need for data centers. But data centers also use incredible amounts of electricity and water for cooling their servers. For those not familiar, data centers range from smaller regional facilities that may support hospitals and universities to large-scale developments called hyperscalers, which we are seeing the most significant growth and is the primary focus of today's study.
In an Oklahoma Corporation Commission filing, Public Service Company of Oklahoma reported an unprecedented need for more electricity due to data centers. Clinton said one of her biggest takeaways was that the tech sector appears to be working directly with municipalities rather than the state to develop these projects. An influx of data centers in our state is driven in part by affordable land and state incentives. Data centers operating in Oklahoma are eligible for sales tax exemption on equipment and machinery purchases, but not for electric power. Oklahoma is also known for its relatively low electricity costs, as prices are roughly a third lower than the national average, making it easier for these centers to be built and used. We also have unused or underdeveloped land, making it easier for companies to build them.
Proposed data center in Yukon continuing to cause more debate as people in the area pushing back against the project. Facility expected to cost $200 million, would use up to 3 million gallons of water a day. Last week, people took their concerns to a city council meeting where folks expressed their issues about the center, including how much it would cost and the excessive amounts of water it would use.
Data centers are bad for the communities they inhabit, and more cities are turning away. It's time we turn away as well.
Following the backlash of the center over the weekend, Yukon Vice Mayor Jeff Wooten announced his resignation from the city council. This comes after community members called for city leaders to be recalled due to the cost of the data center.
Tonight, people in Tulsa are calling for more public input on Project Anthem. The multi-billion-dollar project created by Meta is expected to generate significant economic activity and create roughly 100 permanent full-time jobs. However, many folks in that area do not fully support the project.
I want them to inform the neighborhoods about what the actual impacts of Project Anthem will be.
These data centers could probably get a lot more traction if they weren't so secret squirrel. You know, everything's a secret with them. They don't want you to know who they are.
Construction on phase 1 of Project Anthem finished earlier this spring, with the facility expected to be finished by 2028. As data centers continue to boom across Oklahoma, we want to hear from you. Where do you stand on this issue? We have a post up right now on Facebook where you can comment and share some of your concerns. So far, we're seeing people voice concerns about water and land ownership tied to these projects.
That was your big story breakdown. You can learn more about the proposed data center project in Edmond at OKCFox.com.
Plus, head over to our YouTube page where you can watch all of our big story breakdowns. Just scan the QR code on your screen or search OKC Fox.